Premium designs.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to Premium Designs. Thank you for joining today. Today we are going to have an introduction to graphic design. We are going to cover the overview of design principles, the tools and software options. So this video is not going to be very long, very short it will be, and we are going to go straight to the point. So today we are trying to learn design principles, tools and software options. Alright, so as you all know, this is Photoshop. And as a designer, when you're starting a design, you would want to use a software which you'll be comfortable with. So we are going to look at some design softwares that we have. Okay, so for design softwares, we have several design softwares, plenty that we can choose from. So from sources across the web, you can have Canva, you can have CorelDRAW, Inkscape, Affinity Designer, Adobe SD, Illustrator, Photoshop, and a whole lot. I think Adobe InDesign is also there. We have Blender, we have Printshop Pro, and there's CorelDRAW, but I don't think it's here. Yeah, so as a designer, when you are designing, you will need to get a software that you are comfortable with, which is the first thing, and then a software which is good for what you are doing, because we have vector softwares and then we have image softwares. So you can't use a vector software to design and get the exact thing you want in an image software. For instance, if you are designing a flyer in say CorelDRAW, what you get in CorelDRAW might not be the same thing. In fact, it will not be the same thing as what you get in Adobe Photoshop, because they all have different tools, and some designing softwares have complicated tools that might just be overwhelming or confusing to use. So we are going to use Photoshop and CorelDRAW in the course of study. If you are new, kindly join the channel. Hit the notification button so that anytime I post a video, you get a notification. Kindly subscribe as well, like the video and share. So now that we know some of the design software options to choose from, let's just pick about 3 and talk about them. So we have CorelDRAW. So CorelDRAW is a vector designing software, just like Adobe Illustrator. And we have Adobe Photoshop. Photoshop is an image software. And then we have Adobe InDesign. It's for designing books, magazines, articles, and a whole lot of things. So in case you are designing a book and you want more in knowledge on InDesign, you can look for more videos and more posts about the InDesign, learn about it, and then use it. You can use Adobe Photoshop for even though you can use it for book editing or cover page creation and all those things, it will be better you use InDesign, because those softwares have the necessary tools to design exactly what you want. So here is our working space, and these are some sources or options of softwares you can choose from. So now that we know the softwares, let's talk about the tools. So each software has different tools. This Photoshop, you can see that the tools here. So when you just drop your mouse pointer on it, you can see that you shows you what the tool is used for. So in time we'll learn how to use the tools one by one, but today we are just having an overview of everything. So we call it an introduction to graphic design for today. So if you are a beginner, which is why I'm doing these tutorials, mostly to target the beginners, our design beginners who wants to start and create something better for themselves. So yeah, let's talk about design principles. So when we talk about design principles, we have a lot of design principles. But then let's see what Sam is saying here. Okay, so when we talk about design principles, you can have emphasis, you can have balance and alignment, you can have contrast, repetition, proportion, movement, and yeah. So in this case, you can see this small design here. We are creating emphasis. So when you look at this thing here, your first point of contact will be this yellow star here. So emphasis here is establishes a focal point in your design to prioritize information and guide the viewer's attention. So as a designer, you need to know how to create emphasis. In case you are designing a flyer or anything, you need to create emphasis on the theme of the flyer or the title which you are creating the design for. And then we can have balance and alignment. Here we have balance and alignment. You can see that this shapes here is telling you something. Here we have contrast. Just this here and then this here. You can see that we have this color in a circle form here. Same thing here. Just the shapes here are telling you something. We have the repetition and the colors are repeating as well. We also have proportion, which means some are larger than others, and it's showing some kind of dimension or some kind of supremacy. You can see that the yellow circles there are larger or bigger than the blue circles, and it's creating some sort of proportion in there. You can't read everything here. I don't want the video to be very long, at least a 10-minute video for us to get started. And in our next video, we are going to learn something about color theory. We're going to learn how color theory affects our design and how to choose the right colors for our design. So you see here we have movement, just the arrows and then the circles. It directs your eyes to wherever the arrow is pointing to. So you say the guide, the movement here, the guides the viewer's eye to the design in a logical sequence to convey information effectively. So in case you are designing a flyer and you are trying to convey how do you call it, an information or an important message, you can just use an arrow or something that shows or talks about movement to direct the viewer's eye to wherever you want to direct the viewer's eye to. You can use the emphasis here like we saw here, or you can use the movement and it's kind of directs the viewer's eye to wherever you want the person to be. Yeah, right. So this is a short thing we are learning today, and yeah, I think that will be all for now. In our next video, like I said, we are going to learn about color theory. So kindly subscribe and wait for the next video, because we are taking this step by step for all beginners, step by step for all beginners to learn Photoshop and to learn how do you call it, CorelDRAW and other designing softwares. So to wrap up, I would say we've learned some new softwares today, and we've also learned that there are principles in designing. You can't just be designing anything like that. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to be um, deliberate about everything you do. Yes. So in our next video, we talk about color theory, and then we test the Photoshop tools here. So if you are new, like I'm saying, kindly subscribe. If you are also already a subscriber, kindly like, share, and give a comment. In our next video, it's color theory, but you can also suggest what you would want me to tackle on, and I'll consider that in subsequent videos. Right. Have a nice day. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.